The little girl doubled over in pain, desperate to use the bathroom. But a chalk line drawn on the floor blocked her path. No matter how hard she tried, she couldn't step past it. A woman nearby picked up a piece of chalk, drew a passage through the line, and carefully erased part of the boundary. At last, the girl was able to run freely into the restroom. Amy, who was sharp and observant, believed the girl must have suffered some sort of trauma in her childhood, something that made her terrified of the world beyond those chalk lines. She called in a psychologist to treat the girl, whose name was Annie. But when the doctor erased the chalk line completely, Annie screamed as if she had seen something unspeakable. Panicked, Amy hurried to redraw the line on the floor. Only then did Annie slowly calm down. When the doctor asked her what she had seen, Annie refused to say it out loud. She leaned in close and whispered in Amy's ear. Suspicious, they secretly recorded her voice on a phone and played it back at full volume. What shocked everyone was that Annie, who had never spoken before, suddenly uttered a few sentences in German. Nobody could understand a word. Was she a foreign child? Amy quickly ran the recording through a translation app. The results sent a chill through the room. The words "the demon" appeared on the screen. The psychologist explained that cases like this were extremely rare, and what Annie needed most now was comfort and companionship. So Amy started sleeping with Annie in her arms every night. She even invited the neighbor's kids over to play with her. One afternoon, while Amy was chatting with the neighbor's mother at the dining table, the woman suddenly coughed up blood and pulled a shard of glass from her mouth. When Amy's husband got home, he checked a jar of jam in the kitchen and found tiny pieces of glass inside. In the trash, he discovered the remains of a broken wine glass. All signs pointed to Annie. Her husband insisted they should send the girl back to the orphanage, but Amy thought that was too harsh. She gently tried to talk to Annie about it until a strange noise came from the storage room. When Amy went to check, she found the family's missing house keys inside the washing machine. Puzzled, she hurried back to Annie's room, only to find the girl had vanished. Amy searched every corner of the house, then ran outside calling her name, but Annie was nowhere to be seen. Just as she was about to call the police, she found Annie sitting calmly in the living room. But that was impossible, she couldn't have crossed the chalk circle. Could this innocent-looking little girl have been deceiving them all along? This time, Amy refused to let it slide. She demanded answers, pressing Annie again and again. The girl stayed silent. Frustrated, Amy threatened to wipe away the chalk circle. Annie immediately broke down, crying hysterically, and kicked Amy hard in the stomach. Shaken, Amy went to the kitchen to calm herself with a cup of coffee. But after the first sip, her throat tightened, and she felt something sharp lodged inside. She stumbled into the bathroom, coughing up blood along with another shard of glass. Enraged, she stormed back to confront Annie. But once again, the girl had disappeared, leaving only the front door wide open. The police launched a thorough search of the neighborhood, but they found nothing. Amy's husband grew furious watching her fall apart over this troubled child. Was any of this worth it? Even then, Amy still insisted Annie wasn't behind it. Her husband, however, picked up Annie's stuffed penguin, ripped it open, and poured out several glass shards hidden inside. Amy was speechless. The next day, Amy received a phone call. To her shock, it was Annie's voice on the other end. She and her husband rushed to the police station to report it. But when the officers traced the call, they discovered it had come from Amy's own phone.